Here we are engaged in this war against Al-Qaeda, against radical extremist jihadists, people who have committed themselves and say they have a religious belief that their path to salvation is in killing us. It's our way of life that threatens them. And they have come across the oceans and attacked us here on our soil. And they have global plots that weekly there's some kind of information that emerges about sometimes second and third generation immigrants who come into the Western European countries and determine that they might be sent back to Pakistan or one of the other countries over in the Middle East to be trained to be a terrorist. Then they come back into the Western society and plot and sometimes successfully attack people from Great Britain and in other countries in Europe. And we've been fortunate in this country not to have an effective attack against us since September 11, 2001. But the enemy that we're against, the enemy that we are fighting across the world, this global terrorist army out there that are rooted in Al-Qaeda and that philosophy and their affiliates, and its loose affiliation even within Al-Qaeda itself, the principal enemy in our battlefield that's Iraq is Al-Qaeda in Iraq. That's been clearly brought to this Congress, and it's been a message that's been delivered to us by General Petraeus, Ambassador Crocker, and others. Who is our enemy? Al-Qaeda in Iraq, the number one enemy. A number of other enemies there, and there's a struggle going on for power. But we are in the business of defeating the will of our enemy. Our brave troops have put their lives on the line, and many of them have given their lives in that effort to project freedom to that part of the world, protect our freedom here, and defeat the will of our enemy. They lost their lives, sanctified the soil in Iraq with their blood to defeat the will of our enemy in Iraq. And yet here, on the floor of the House of Representatives, since the gavel and the passing of the gavel in this new 110th Congress, there's been almost weekly, with only 2 or 3 exceptions that I can think of, at least one resolution or a bill or a piece of legislation here on the floor of the House of Representatives that serves to, what? It serves to encourage our enemies, to encourage the will of our enemies, and weaken the will of the American people.